You're watching Just Giselle, Pokemon Character of the Day. This video will be a little different than my last one, instead looking in depth at two of my favorite, and I feel most underrated Pokemon, Staryu and Starmie. This video will be all you could ever know about these stars in the anime, games, and manga. So buckle up, we're going for a spin. Get it? See what I did there? Because rapid spin. Anyway, the starfish duo in English share the pun off of the words you and me. In Japanese, however, they do not. Staryu is called Hitodeman, a combination of the word for starfish, Hitode, and man.
Staryu is Starfish Man.
In Chinese, it's called Hai Xing Xing, literally starfish star. Starmie in Japanese is also called STARMIE, combining the English for star and Japanese for jewel. Similarly, the Chinese name Baoshi Haixing means precious stone starfish. Staryu is best known in the anime as one of Misty's favorites and for the iconic sound it makes.
Staryu, the American Ninja Warrior.
But did you know that the Japanese voice actor who made that sound also voices Charizard in most of the dubs? Shinichiro also voices James in the Japanese series. Despite having both Staryu and Starmie on her team, Misty seems to prefer Staryu for most battles. It makes its debut in episode 6, Clefairy and the Moonstone, turning Meowth into the world's first cat water balloon. It shows an interesting mechanic of first jumping into the water before using Water Gun. It does this several times in other episodes, including Ash's battle with Misty for the Cascade Badge. It's speculated that this episode previews the idea of abilities, which weren't introduced until Gen 3. Staryu jumps into the water to wash off Butterfree's Stun Spore and Sleep Powder, imitating the natural cure ability Staryu would later receive. Although somewhat clumsy on land, Misty relies heavily on her pointy friend, such that she feels an emotional bond with it.
Oh no! Staryu looks like it's in real pain!
It doesn't even have a face! How can you tell?
Because I'm sensitive to others' feelings! That's how!
I'm sorry if I pushed you too hard, Staryu, but you know I only did it because I have a lot of confidence in you.
In turn, Staryu is extremely loyal to Misty, even following risky directions. In the Pokemon Chronicles spin-off series, a group of thugs attack the Cerulean City gym. One calls on a Hitmonchan to dive underwater and attack Staryu. When the Hitmonchan appears to become unconscious underwater, Misty tells Staryu to save it. Hitmonchan then sucker punches Staryu, knocking it out.
Oh no, it's all a decoy, folks!
Misty's affection for Staryu is also present in the Pokemon Adventures manga. Staryu is introduced to help fight off a Gyarados. There isn't much different from the anime in this respect, except that Misty calls Staryu Hito-chan as a nickname from its Japanese name Hitodeman. What a cute moe kawaii thing to call it, Hito-chan. Despite being very unhuman and even very unanimal-like, evidence suggests Staryu is actually quite organic. Staryu's Golden Stadium 2 Pokedex entries say, "At night, the center of its body slowly flickers with the same rhythm as a human heartbeat." And in Ruby, the entry calls Staryu's gem-like core an organ, like a heart.
I choose Staryu!
Staryu is known as a purely ocean-dwelling Pokemon, but it was available on land in the very first generation's Red and Blue, by walking through the Seafoam Island caves. This was changed in Yellow version, where Staryu could only be found by surfing or fishing in water. Like many stone evolutions, Staryu must learn most of its best moves before evolving. Otherwise, if evolved after level 2, Starmie only learns Confuse Ray. And of course, the ultimate water move many trainers wait for is Hydro Pump. But for some reason, Pokemon likes to drive Staryu trainers crazy by changing Staryu's Hydro Pump level in every generation. Gen 1 level 47, Gen 2 level 50, Gen 3 level 46, Gen 4 level 55, Gen 5 Black and White level 60, and changed again for Black and White 2 to level 52. X and Y stay at 52 but changes to level 53 in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Why? In Gen 2, genders were introduced. Despite Staryu and Starmie being genderless, they were mistakenly programmed to learn egg moves, although this was still impossible to achieve with Ditto. Staryu and Starmie were also the only genderless Pokemon apart from Mew to be able to learn Attract, although the move fails 100% of the time. Staryu is also mistakenly referred to as a he in the Pokepark 2 Wii game. X and Y Episode 22, Going for the Gold, shows Pokemon in the Ambret Aquarium. One is a Staryu miscolored to look like a Starmie, and this mistake actually already happened before in Pokemon Chronicles when Misty drinks from a mug with a purple Staryu on it. Whoops. And last, both Staryu and Cleffa have the same species, the star-shaped Pokemon. Super Smash Bros. Melee even goes as far as to say they might be related. Police. Ain't no one believe that? We now come to the big guns. Give Staryu a water stone and...
A Starmie is born!
Starmie in the anime and most dubs is voiced by Otani Ikue, the notorious voice actress of Pikachu. Now, although Starmie on paper seems like the stronger choice for Misty over Staryu, the anime seems to have it in for Starmie because it loses so often. Let's take a look.
Oh, Starmie, are you okay?
A hammer? Come on! Starmie snags a few small victories here and there, but seems to be more reserved as Misty's utility Pokemon, kinda like a modern-day HM slave. It puts out fires, saves people from drowning, pulls the getaway raft, and carries Misty through a Pokemon race. Again, although abilities were yet to be introduced, Starmie seems to have Water Absorb in Bye Bye Butterfree. After Jessie hits Starmie with a hammer, Misty somehow procures a water backpack and fire hose to soak Starmie with and help it recover. After helping her sisters perform the Cerulean City Gym's underwater ballet, Misty leaves Starmie behind. Her Starmie doesn't show up until she returns to the gym as gym leader during Pokemon Chronicles. There are several other anime appearances, two of which are in the Orange Island series. In Bye Bye Psyduck, Misty meets a fellow water Pokemon trainer, Marina. Through various hijinks, a wild Golduck convinces Misty that it is her evolved Psyduck, and she uses it to battle Marina's Starmie. And, of course, the anime creators hate Starmie, so it's destroyed with a Hyper Beam.
Starmie!
The second Orange Island Starmie is owned by the Trovita Island gym leader, Rudy. He believes his Pokemon's power is released through dance. Starmie don't dance, but it does spin round. Right round, creating a Thunderbolt attack. Even though in any real situation this would probably defeat a Squirtle, somehow Squirtle survives, learns Hydro Pump, and defeats Starmie with a Skull Bash. The last major appearance of Starmie is just as shocking. In the same episode as Purple Staryu, Team Rocket is pedaling their submarine on the lookout for a golden Magikarp. They instead grab hold of a wild Starmie that shocks them with a Thunderbolt. This is only the second time Starmie is featured using a TM move. In the anime, Starmie is the only psychic Pokemon to be owned by a main character. However, Misty's Psyduck, a pure water type, is the one using psychic powers. Starmie is also one of only a small handful of Pokemon to be featured in Professor Oak's lectures, a small segment for each Pokemon that was never aired with the dub. Starmie's was featured as a promotional clip on American VHS tapes. And kind of a fun shot, there is a quick sequence of Starmie eating in Pokemon Chronicles. You don't see much, but it seems like the food is absorbed as Starmie swims by it. Kinda like Pokemon and me. Where does the food go? To wrap up Starmie's screen time is the infamous banned episode Beauty and the Beach. You know the one with the bikini contest and James has inflatable Banoo-noos. Misty uses Starmie as part of her costume, imitating a UFO. However, Brock, who is emceeing the event, seems to forget his Pokemon names.
This is a very imaginative costume. It's Staryu and Squirtle as extraterrestrials in their flying saucer.
So, Starmie didn't do so hot in the anime, but it sure does in the manga. Well, apart from the electric tail of Pikachu, where all it does is drench Ash to rehydrate him from crying. Oh, and look, it's Giselle, who I did a video about and didn't know she was on this page. In Pokemon Adventures, Misty uses Starmie to defeat Red's Bulbasaur in one move, telling him he isn't ready to face her. Later in the series, at a Gym Leader Championship, Misty takes on Whitney's iconic Devil Miltank. You know the one. But Starmie doesn't sweat it and takes down that Miltank, with a what? Oh, that's right, a Hyper Beam! Couldn't be more different than the anime, right? But perhaps more interesting is that apart from battling and floating around, Misty's Starmie can communicate with Pokemon telepathically and then write out messages in an ancient script that Misty can decipher. I mean, what? Starmie does this once as a distress signal in the sky while Misty is being attacked by Team Rocket at the Elite Four. The more significant instance is during the Gold and Silver chapters. Suicune seeks out Misty and through Starmie communicates that it wants to join her to thwart Team Rocket's plans. Bet your HM slave can't do that. And finally, we come to the Pokedex and rampant theories surrounding the Starmie line. From as early as Pokemon Stadium, Starmie's original entries say, this Pokemon may have come from outer space. Gen 2 says the core of its body is said to send electric waves into space, and in Gen 5 it says that these radio signals are sent to communicate with something. Even Professor Oak's lecture speculates Starmie's galactic ties.
But some scientists have theorized that Starmie are actually visitors from another planet. I find the idea of Starmie from outer space completely preposterous. Wow. Well, maybe it's not such a crazy idea after all.
This information has led some people to believe that there may be a link between the Starmie family and Deoxys. Now, before you get all skeptic, let me clarify, I don't think they are directly related. Deoxys does not strike me as an evolution or even a mutation of Starmie. However, they do share many characteristics that I feel warrant a relationship. In the movie Destiny Deoxys, the legendary DNA Pokemon appears to communicate through auras projected by its crystal-like core. This is very similar to our star duo's nighttime ocean light shows. And if these stars are projecting signals to space, it could be Deoxys they're communicating with. Deoxys is also able to regenerate lost limbs, just like Staryu and Starmie. I've seen theories online that say Deoxys may have originally been a Staryu or Starmie that was mutated by a virus, but to me, this is a little too out there. I feel that if this were the case, Starmie would be more obviously linked to the lore surrounding Deoxys, and that Deoxys would show some sort of affinity for the ocean, which it doesn't. All in all, Starmie lives up to its mysterious Pokemon title. It is always a must on my team for its wide move pool, special offense, and amazing speed, and for me, I love Pokemon that are beautiful, majestic, or mysterious, and Starmie fits all requirements. Well, there you have it. All you'd ever need to know about Staryu and Starmie. Thank you to all two of you who managed to make it to the very end. Comment below what your favorite underrated Pokemon are. And remember, people may call her a star, but you're watching just Giselle.